Period when I saw the cheerleading captain Madison slam a girl into the lockers. The girl hit the metal hard and her binder fell open, causing her papers to go everywhere. The girl was small and her hair was greasy and she was trying to pick up her papers without crying, while Madison was laughing and recording the whole thing. I walked over and shouted, "Madison, back off." "Oh, Hudson, you're such a hero." She mocked me and then walked away, but I didn't care. I just knelt down and helped the girl pick up her papers. "Are you okay?" I asked. She nodded without looking at me. "What's your name?" I asked her. She whispered it so quietly I almost didn't hear her. "Bertha." I smiled. "Well, Bertha, you didn't deserve that. You seem like a nice person. Madison's the one with the problem, not you. Don't let her ruin your day." She looked at me for the first time. "Thank you. I won't forget this. I won't forget you," she said shakily, and I tried to ignore how weird that made me feel. I just gave her a small nod and said, "Have a good day," then walked off to second period before the bell rang. But when I checked my locker later that day, there was a note in there that said, "I'll never forget what you did. Yours B." I thought it was weird but shrugged it off and put it in my backpack because I figured she was just grateful. And then I went to lunch and sat down at my usual table with my best friend Andre and 3 other guys from the football team. But before I could even start eating, Bertha sat down in the empty seat next to me and put her hand on top of mine. "Hi, baby. I was thinking about you all morning." The whole table went quiet, but she just smiled at me like we'd been doing this for years. I pulled my hand back and she looked confused. I spoke to her softly. "Hey Bertha, I think you have the wrong idea. I was just trying to help out and I have a girlfriend." She patted my shoulder and stood up. "Babe, you don't have to pretend in front of your friends." She walked off before I could respond and Andre stared at me. "Bro, what was that?" "I don't know," I said, feeling uneasy about the whole thing. I didn't think about Bertha after that until I was 10 minutes into football practice and I heard someone screaming my name from the bleachers. "Let's go, Hudson. That's my man. You got this, baby." I knew that voice before I even turned around. Bertha was on the 4th row of the bleachers holding a sign that said, "My number 1, go baby go," cheering like she was at the state championship. Andre jogged up next to me and elbowed me in the ribs. "Bro, you got a fan." I just facepalmed and a couple of the guys started laughing. One of them even whistled at her. Another one yelled toward the bleachers, "Yo, who are you? You here for our boy?" Bertha cupped her hands around her mouth and yelled back, "I'm his girlfriend." The whole offensive line lost it. They were doubled over laughing, slapping each other, pointing at me. One of them said, "Damn Hudson, what happened to Lauren?" While Andre asked, "Bro, what is happening?" "She's not my girlfriend," I yelled, stressed out of my mind now. "Lauren and I are still together. I don't know that girl." Everyone went silent and I jogged over toward the bleachers because I had to shut this down before it got back to Lauren. Bertha was already leaning over the railing beaming at me. "Bertha, you can't tell people we're dating. You know I have a girlfriend." She just laughed like I'd said something adorable. "Babe, relax. They were just playing. I'm not embarrassing you, I promise." I stared at her wondering how I was saying one thing but she was hearing something else. And then coach blew his whistle from the field. "Hudson, get back here. What are you doing?" I sighed heavily and jogged back to the line with my hands shaking. By the time we hit the showers, I had a headache so bad I could barely see straight, and it got worse the second I checked my phone because Lauren had already texted 17 times. "Hudson, what the hell? Nala just sent me a video of some girl in your bleachers holding a sign saying she's your number 1. Why is she there? Why is she saying that?" "Babe, I'm trying not to spiral, but this is really messing with me. I don't know what to think. Call me the second you're done." The air went out of my chest, and I stared at the screen wondering how I was going to explain Bertha to Lauren. But I called her the second I got in my car and told her I was a wreck and asked if she could meet me. A few minutes later, she was in the parking lot and I hugged her tightly. "Babe, what is going on?" Lauren asked shakily. I pulled back and told her everything, and when I was done, she put her hand on the side of my face. "Hudson, I believe you. I just needed to hear it from you. We're gonna figure this out together. I love you." I hugged her again, and I realized I needed support right now. We sat in my car for 20 minutes talking about everything except Bertha. By the time she had to leave for her shift at the cafe, I felt like I could breathe again. But when I got home and walked into the kitchen, Bertha was standing at the counter next to my mom, and they were laughing like they'd known each other for years. There was even a casserole dish between them, and the second Mom saw me, her face lit up. "Hudson, honey, Bertha was just telling me she finally got the courage to come introduce herself. I can't believe you've been hiding her from me. She's such a doll." Bertha looked at me over my mom's shoulder and gave me a little wave. "Your mom about the cabin trip we were thinking about for spring break." I felt the headache from earlier come right back. "Mom, I've never planned a cabin trip with her. I don't know her. Please don't let her in this house again." The kitchen went silent. Bertha's bottom lip started shaking and her eyes filled with tears. She put a hand over her mouth and a small sob came out. "Hudson, why are you doing this? Why are you saying these things in front of your mom?" I didn't do anything." She started crying for real now, and her shoulders actually shook. Mom instantly believed her and pulled her into a hug and rubbed her back. "Shh, sweetheart. It's okay. It's okay. He's just stressed about football. You know how boys are." But then she glared at me over Bertha's shoulder. "Hudson Walker, what is wrong with you? This girl drove all the way over here and made you dinner, and you're going to embarrass her like that. In my house? You're better than this." I opened my mouth, but my mom held up her hand to stop me. "No, I don't want to hear it. You're grounded. Go to your room. You can come back down when you're ready to apologize." I stood there for a second, staring at my own mother, holding the girl who'd been stalking me for 2 days while she told me I was the problem. And then Bertha peeked at me, and I swear to God she was smiling. But since I clearly lost, I went upstairs and shut my door and sat on the floor while my hands wouldn't stop shaking. I didn't know what I was supposed to do tomorrow when I had to see Bertha at school again. The only thing keeping me from completely losing it was knowing Lauren still believed me. But the next morning, I woke up to something on my pillow. I picked it up and saw it was a Polaroid of me sleeping. On the bottom in black Sharpie it said, "Don't be sad, baby. She shouldn't have grounded you." I sat straight up and the picture fell into my lap. Bertha had been in my room. Bertha had stood over my bed with a camera while I was unconscious and taken a picture of me. I felt like I was going to throw up, and the worst part was I couldn't even tell Mom because after last night she would think I was making it up. So instead, I drove to the hardware store after school and bought a deadbolt and a new lock for my window and a motion sensor I could stick on my windowsill. I installed all of it and even tested every lock 5 times. I got into bed thinking I would be safe, but the next morning there was a new Polaroid sitting face up on my pillow. My hands shook as I looked at it because this time it was a picture of Lauren sleeping in her bed taken from inside her room. Bertha even wrote, "She won't bother us after today." I jolted out of bed. My chest was heaving and I couldn't breathe. I immediately caught Lauren, but it went straight to voicemail, so I texted her, "Lauren, pick up. Bertha was in your room last night. Call me right now." And then I grabbed my car keys and ran out the house. I was speeding the whole way to Lauren's house, and I tried calling her again, but it went to voicemail again. By the time I arrived, I saw Lauren's front door was wide open, so I left my car and ran inside. I heard Lauren crying from upstairs, so I took the stairs 2 at a time and ran into her bedroom, and Bertha was standing there while Lauren was on the floor by the foot of the bed. Lauren's nose was bleeding, and her right eye was already swelling shut, and her hair was a mess, and she was sobbing. I clenched my fists, trying hard to control my anger. Bertha looked up at me, and she got so happy. "Hudson, oh thank God you're here." She just wouldn't listen to me. I tried to be nice. I really did. I didn't bother looking at her and just knelt down next to Lauren and tried to look at her face, but she flinched. Babe, it's me, it's me." I hugged her while Bertha screamed, "Hudson, let her go." I said, "I'm gonna call 911 right now." But Lauren grabbed my wrist with her shaking hand. No, don't. Just get her out. Hudson, please, just get her out of my house." And so I stood up and grabbed Bertha's arm and started pulling her toward the door. "Hudson, baby, what are you doing? Why are you mad at me? I did this for us." I rolled my eyes and dragged her down the stairs and out the front door and shoved her down onto the porch. "Bertha, if you ever touch her again..."